Dolphins fans, what's happening? It is 8 o'clock at night here on the West Coast in Alaska. I think it's midnight on the East Coast, so if you're watching this, you should probably be in bed. Just wanted to. Really, all I'm doing is testing out my new streaming setup and just seeing how it works with all the overlays and everything, but I figured might as well preview tomorrow's games while I'm at it and make sure all this is working the way I want it to. Let's see. All right. Before I get started here, I just want to make sure my bars are up and everything is good to go. There it is. Okay. I think that'll work. Okay. So, it is Saturday night. Most of the games are tomorrow. The Dolphins game is not until Monday night, so I got some time on that. Tomorrow afternoon, probably during the games or after the games, sometime tomorrow, I'll put out the video covering the rest of the stuff about the Dolphins game. I'll have my 3 points for offense and 3 points for defense on what they need to focus on to beat the Rams, and I'll have some other stuff on there too, injury report and stuff like that. So be ready for that. But we'll go through the games right now and talk about it, and we'll go from there. First game tomorrow that we're going to talk about is super early game. It's over in London, I believe. No, it's in Germany. It's in Germany. That's the New York Giants taking on Carolina Panthers. Technically, both of them are away teams, obviously, but Carolina is technically is officially the home team for that game. I mean, Giants and Carolina. This is one of those games that's kind of a toilet bowl. But what I'm hoping is since it's two teams that are having a real hard time, I think it's going to be a really good game. I mean, at that. So who knows? Maybe Daniel Jones will actually throw a touchdown pass. Of course, it's not a home game, but you know. Let's see. That's. I mean, for the Pick'ems League, I took New York Giants to beat the Carolina Panthers, and I'm thinking that's going to be a close game. I mean, I would say New York Giants are going to win by 3. That would be my guess, and I'm not really expecting a high scoring game there. I'm thinking 17-14 max. At the highest scoring. So that's what that game's looking like to me personally. And if you go to the next game, we've got the New England Patriots taking on the Chicago Bears. That's in Chicago. I don't think the Patriots have a chance in that game. I mean, I'm thinking maybe, let's see. I'm thinking Chicago should just mop the floor with New England. I'm not going to say that they're going to fold over. New England always plays everybody tough. And they always put on a little bit of a show. Obviously, Drake May is a fantastic quarterback, and he's just going to get better and better as we go. I really think New England found something when they took him. I would say, but I just think Chicago is going to be too much for him, and I would look for Chicago to win that game by at least 7 points. Next, you got Buffalo and Indianapolis. That's in Indy. Buffalo has like 2 of their top receivers out for that game, which is terrible for them. As a Dolphins fan, if you are a Dolphins fan, you definitely do not want the Bills to win that game or the Colts to win that game. We should want Buffalo to win that game. I know it sounds crazy. We're not going to get the AFC East title. So you might as well just hope Buffalo wins this game because that'll put the Colts a little lower on the win-loss column, and that'll help us out in the long run if the Dolphins decide to try to, I don't know, win some games this year. We'll see. So that's in Indianapolis, and like I said, I think Buffalo's going to win that game. But we should hope for Buffalo to win that game. So, Dolphins fans, you should be rooting for Buffalo. I'm going to go ahead and say that Buffalo should smoke them, even minus their top 2 receivers. Indianapolis has an absolutely terrible running game or running defense. So as long as Buffalo runs the ball, should have a fantastic day. Uh, Next is a game that I'm gonna try to watch a little bit of this game tomorrow. It's gonna be Denver at Kansas City, and you figure Kansas City's gonna end up losing a couple games here just because they're not really winning impressively at any of the games they've been playing. It's been kind of, almost like they have extra players on their team in white and black jerseys running around on the field. I think Denver could win this game actually. It is in Kansas City, and for all intents and purposes, Kansas City should win. I took Kansas City in my Pick'ems league. I just think that Denver has a good chance, especially with that defense. Patrick Mahomes loves to throw interceptions, so we'll see how that goes. But that's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. Next is Atlanta playing New Orleans in New Orleans. Atlanta's going to smoke them. Everybody should just take Atlanta in that game. New Orleans is offloading players. They're firing coaches. New Orleans giving up. They're throwing in the towel for the year, and they're going into a tank mode. So I would expect Atlanta to really, really win that game big. Next, San Francisco is taking on Tampa Bay. It's in Tampa Bay. However, Christian McCaffrey is back for the Niners after a long time being out this season. Expect something big. If you have Christian McCaffrey on your fantasy league, this would be the week to definitely start him if you weren't paying attention this week. Christian McCaffrey is back. Get him on your team. San Francisco's probably going to win that game. I picked him in the Pick'em League. I'm expecting San Fran to win. There's always a chance Tampa Bay, they do play well and they play better. Seems like Tampa Bay plays up to the opponents that are playing or down to the opponents they're playing. If they're playing a bad team, they're going to play bad. If they're playing a good team, they're going to play elite level football, especially Baker Mayfield. But I think San Francisco is going to pull that one out. That'll be a close game too. That's going to be a good one. A lot of good games on the schedule this week. So if you guys have time to watch some games or the ability to watch more than just the one or two that are going to be on TV, this is the week to sit there and flip through the channels. Or, at least watch that NFL Red Zone so you can see all the scoring plays from all these games. Because there's going to be a lot. Next, Pittsburgh is traveling to Washington to play the Commanders. That's another great one. These games are incredible this week. Pittsburgh, I put them, if you watch my power rankings video I put out earlier today, you're going to see that I ranked them very high. I'm pretty high on Pittsburgh right now, and I think that they very well could go into Washington and come out with a win. However, if from the eyes of a betting man, I went with Washington to win in this game. They are at home. They're playing great football as well. This game's going to be incredible. I mean, so many great games. Oh, such a great week for football. But don't be surprised if Pittsburgh pulls something out there. Next, we got Minnesota traveling to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Ugh. Minnesota's going to win this game, obviously. Do I really even need to say more? I mean, that's enough, I think. I think that's going to be the just the fact that Minnesota is going to Jacksonville. That's the nail in the coffin for Jacksonville. It's over. Might as well just mark that one down right now. Next, this one I have listed as my upset for the week. So beware on this one. Tennessee is traveling to LA to play the Chargers. Right here. Tennessee's going to win this game. I don't know if I like it. I would rather the Chargers lose, personally. But I think Tennessee's going to win this game. It keeps standing out to me. I'm looking at all the teams on the schedule, and for some reason Tennessee is just... I think Tennessee's going to go across the country into LA, and I think they're going to win a tight game. I guess we'll see. I picked that in my Pick'ems League as an upset, and just watch. Get at me if it happens, huh? Next, another game. This one, I don't want to watch this game at all. Philadelphia at Dallas. I don't like the Cowboys. I just don't. I shoot. Most Cowboys fans don't like the Cowboys. Philadelphia's traveling into Dallas to play them, and I think Philadelphia is going to come out with the win. I picked them in the Pick'em League, and I don't think anything different than that's going to happen. I think it's definitely going to be a loss for Dallas. Uh, Next, New York Jets traveling to Arizona. A lot of people are picking the New York Jets to win this game. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Arizona is going to stand pat in Arizona. I think they're going to knock the Jets off, which is great if you're a Dolphins fan. I mean, that's what you should want, right? You should want them to win. You should want the Cardinals to win this game. I think they're going to win this game. I'm going to actually be checking in on this game. It's a late game, so you'll be able to watch it and still catch some of the better games that are on in the beginning of the day. Definitely check that game out. And right after that game ends, you've got Detroit traveling to Houston to play the Texans. And that game is the Sunday night game. Everybody's going to be watching it. Primetime. Detroit, my number one ranked team on my power rankings. The Lions are great. They're winning by a lot against most teams. And they are very, very good. Houston's no slouch. I mean, this game could be close most of it, but in the fourth quarter, I see Detroit just kind of walking away with this one. And I expect them to win big. I'm thinking Detroit's going to win by at least 14. So, we'll see how it goes. You just don't know. The last game, I have a little bit more information I'm going to put out tomorrow. It's the Monday night game. Miami at the Rams. Miami's traveling all the way across the country. They left today, and they're heading over there to play the Rams on Monday night. That game is very important for the Miami Dolphins. It's also very important for the Rams. They've won 3 straight, and they need that game just as well. I think that I already said I told my subscribers and everybody here that I would always pick Miami to win every game, no matter what. In my Pick'ems league, it's a lot of losses for me in my Pick'em league because I'm always picking the Dolphins to win. I'll continue to do that. Sorry, but I do think in this game they're actually going to win, and I think they'll win convincingly. I think it's going to be a close game, kind of back and forth until the fourth quarter, and at that point, I think that Miami is going to walk away from the Rams, and I think I called it 34-21 is what I think Miami's going to win by. I think it's going to be a 13-point win for Miami, and I think this is that game. And like I said, if you're a Dolphins fan, that's where everything needs to start. This is when the playoffs start for Miami. If they lose a game, they're pretty much out. They'll have chances if they lose one more or two more, but it's not going to be good for them. They need to win pretty much every game from here on out, and we'll see how it goes. But I do think they're going to beat the Rams, and I think that'll be a good start, bringing them to 3-6 if they get it. Cleveland and Green Bay, Las Vegas, and Seattle, they're all on byes this week, and we'll see how they do once it gets back into Week 11. This is when we're getting into the crazy stuff, guys, when every game has a lot of different implications for other teams. Not just the teams that are playing, but the ones that aren't. Division standings are nuts right now. Teams that you wouldn't think would be in the lead of divisions are in the lead for divisions. Teams that you thought were at the beginning of the year that were going to be at the top are all the way at the bottom. In the AFC East, you've got Buffalo in first place, the Jets in second, Miami in third, New England in fourth. Everybody knew New England was going to be in last place. In the AFC North, you've got Pittsburgh over the Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh's in first place. Baltimore is in second. The Cincinnati Bengals are in third, and Cleveland's in fourth. Now, at the beginning of the year, I thought Cleveland was going to be near the top of that, and I was thinking Pittsburgh would be down near the bottom, but stuff happens. In the AFC South, you've got Houston in first place. We kind of figured that, right? Everybody was on the same page with that. Indianapolis is in second place at 4-5. I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen. Tennessee 2-6, and then Jacksonville at 2-7. I figured that Jacksonville and Houston were going to be kind of fighting for first place in that division. I guess it's just not happening for Jacksonville this year. I wonder how many games they're going to go before they start firing coaches. I guess we'll see. um, in the NFC East, you got Washington in first place. First place at 7-2. Dallas in third, and the Giants in last. Everybody knew the Giants would probably be in last place, but I don't think anybody thought Washington was going to be 7-2 in first place with a full game lead. I sure didn't. The NFC North, Detroit's in first. And look at this division in the NFC North. The top three teams, Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay, 7-1, 6-2, 6-3. In that division, you're probably going to have three teams making the playoffs. Unreal. And Chicago's in last place with 4-4. Chicago's a good team too. And I remember the first few weeks of the season, we were all talking about how, for the first time in a long time, every single team in that division could make the playoffs. Unreal. The NFC South, you're looking at Atlanta in first place at 6-3, Tampa Bay bringing up second place at 4-5. The other two teams are non-issues, Carolina and New Orleans. They're both 2-7. I mean, they're done. The thing about them is they're 2-7, so technically they're not eliminated yet. But guys, they have nothing going for them. They can't get anything going. You can't even say, oh, but the talent's pretty good. They're just not winning games. No, they're just not good. So I don't see anything happening with those two teams. In the NFC West, this is one of the big shockers for me. Arizona at 5-4 is in first place in the NFC West. And you think, okay, well, at least maybe San Francisco will be second place. Nope. San Francisco is in third. The Los Angeles Rams are in second place at 4-4. San Francisco's in third, and Seattle is in last place. Now, from first place to last place, first place at the Arizona Cardinals, 5-4. Last place, the Seattle Seahawks at 4-5. They're all right there. It's all close. But I digress. I mean, like I said, the standings this year are tight. There's only a few divisions where teams are getting walked away from. Obviously, Buffalo. Buffalo. Stop it. Buffalo needs to lose all their games. That'd be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen, but anyway, the standings are just nuts right now. And you think that just when you think you got things figured out, it all changes. This year is nuts. The parity in the league is insane. Teams are losing one week to a team, then beating the team that beat them the last week, the next week. You can't hardly pick games this year. It's insane. And in my league with Doug Lee Durong, there's 400 people in that league, and there's goodness, let me look real quick and I can tell you it's insane. And it's all these leagues are like this. I'm 85-53. So I've chosen 85 games correct, 53 games I've got incorrect. And I'm not even... Everybody's having a hard time picking games this year. I remember seeing sometimes you'd see, people leading leagues with, like a few losses and managing to pick all these teams. And I'm not able to do it. And nobody is in our league. So 85-53, and my rank is 241 out of all ESPN Pick'em leagues. 241K. In my group, I'm not that. Obviously, it's a little better. I'm 82nd in my group out of 400. 82nd place. But I mean, if you look at the number one player in our league, 98 wins, 41 losses. 41. That's first place. And he's by himself. The next player is 96-43. It's crazy. Parity's awesome. It makes for good football. I mean, I can't really complain about that. I mean, it gives us something fun to watch, and you never know what's going to happen week to week. It makes it pretty awesome. So, anyway, I just wanted to check in with that and talk about some of the games. kind of tell everybody how I thought it was going to go. I appreciate those of you that stopped by to check it out, and I hope you all have a great evening. Get some rest. Go to church in the morning if you go to church, and if you don't go to church, go to church. Check it out. And then get back home, watch some football, hang out. Let your kids watch some football. Teach them something. Anyway, have a good night, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks a lot.